Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome back to another evening down the garage. Now, I've actually been down the garage past 3 nights, and I did try doing a little bit of filming, but it's just been like the hottest the UK has ever been, believe it or not. So didn't really do a lot of filming. I was in a vest, it wasn't very attractive, it was sweaty, and you know, sort of thing only my wife should see, do you know what I mean? Anyway, so the car is quite well taken apart. I'll just show you the inside of it. So we've got a show in 4 days, and this is the state of the car. No seats, no dash, half the wiring's pulled out, and the rear cage is gone. Reason for that is, I'll show you in here before I show you what's over there on the driveway and what we've been working on, but I brought a new cage. Not that one, that's Dean's one for his Escort, but this black one here. I brought this, and this came with, you know, it was a full cage that came with all the front half and everything. But the back half is only, let's move these out. The back half is only a diagonal, as you can see. So this cage came out of a Mark 1.2 Fiesta. I used it in a Mark 1 and a Mark 2. It was an oval track or grass track car. So it's, you know, full spec to rules, etc. and everything. So yeah, that's the back half of it. But my back half that I've already got has a cross in it, and it's got the harness bars, more importantly. It's got the harness bars. Now that's the important bit. So what I've done is taken all of the front half of that cage. It's getting a bit dark now, so it'll be a little bit more difficult for you to see. But I've taken all of the back half, sorry, all the front half of that cage, and brought a load of these weld-on brackets and welded them to the back half of my cage to make one complete cage with the cross, with the harness bars and everything as it was. Now it's a little bit fiddly trying to get things lined up, etc., and make one cage and 2 cages become one cage and do it properly so it's safe, obviously. But I've now got to the point where it's all together. I've just got it out of the car. Obviously I put it together in the car, obviously, because the last thing I want to do is take it out, put it together and then not fit when it goes back in the car. So I put it together in the car, as you've seen in the time lapses, and I've now got everything tacked together, and it's time now for me to get it fully welded out. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brackets to weld up. Number 6 is for the roof bar, but as you can see, the roof bar, for some semi-strange reason, actually doesn't line up at that end. It's short. Now I'm guessing that's because the other cage has probably got a slight bend in it or something to accommodate for that, or as I'm just about to look at, the bracket might be, yeah, the bracket's a lot bigger. You can see how much gap there still is with the bracket holding on there. So now this cage did come with 2 bars that were added, the dash bar, and they added in this bar here, which goes behind the driver's seat between the B pillars. Now this is a bit of scaffold tube, I think. I don't think this is actually CDS, but what I might do is use this to cut a new roof bar at some point. But for now, not worried about the centre roof bar, because obviously I've got the main hoop and the 2 A-pillar hoops to go with. So, right, I'm going to stop waffling. Stand somewhere where you can see. I don't know about that. I'm going to stop waffling, and I'm going to get that welded out before it gets completely dark outside, because it's hot evening and I don't particularly want to be stuck indoors welding. I'd rather do it outside where it's a bit cooler. Right, crack on time. It's all going so well. Run out of gas again. Right, old gas bottle out, new gas bottle in, welder set up, lid on. Let's crack on. tonight, well, it's not as warm as it was, but it's muggy as anything. It rained earlier, so yeah, it's not comfortable, hence why I'm in short sleeves and shorts. Probably not the best gear for welding, you know. Don't follow my example, obviously. But yeah, right, it's all welded. Well, I say it's all welded. It's all welded together. I now need to completely unbolt everything so I can weld the back sides and the insides of the tubes. And then, well, and then we've got to get it all in the car and start welding plates and cutting and shutting and, yeah, getting all that stuff in. There's some smoke pouring out of there. Nice. So, yeah, we're getting closer. I mean, it's now only 2 days until the show. And when I mean 2 days, I mean the show is on the second day. So I've literally got tonight and tomorrow evening to get this done. And maybe some other stuff as well that arrived the other day over there. But we might get onto that into another video. But, right, I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to get this all unbolted, weld the insides, and then let it cool down and try and put it back in the car.
Nothing can go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong.
No, this episode hasn't turned into a horror movie. The power's just gone out. So, yeah, standing in the dark. It's also quite dark outside now, as you can see. So it's not like I can even work in the daylight. Maybe, I don't know, where's good? There isn't too bad. Meh, it works. Yeah, so power's out. Just a little look on the old UKPM website. The whole, you know, this whole estate and half of the rest of the town is out. Fun and games. So yeah, can't cut, can't weld, can't grind, can't see what I'm fucking doing to start with. So I have got it in though. I have got it all bolted in using the trusty iPhone Lite. So cage is all bolted in. Fits up quite nicely. I've managed to re-drill, so I've re-drilled these floor plates down here. I've got 2 bolts in each for now. So I've got those re-drilled. I need to re-drill the rear ones out still. And then that leaves us with, as you can see, so we need to plate up the front one still, over there and over there. So that's going to be our 3mm plate, which I'm sure I've got a bit here, so I can show you what I mean. So basically, yeah, roll cage obviously has to be plated out where it mounts in, because otherwise, probably most of you already know this, but otherwise the theory is if you roll over and land on your roof very hard, there is the potential for the roll cage to punch through the floor pan of the car if it's not properly plated. So obviously we're kind of completely defeat the point of having the cage in the first place, because you wouldn't want that to crush you on the head, you know, anyway. So yeah, the idea is we have to plate out the floor to make it a bit stronger. So a bit of 3mm square plates, these are cut out. So these were cut out 4 inches square, which was the regulation size for this spec cage. So basically what we need to do is put that in there and then weld that into place on the floor pan, floor pan, and then you drill through this and bolt that up. So we've got to do that on each side, and then I'll show you at the back what I meant by You see where this cage is now just moved forward from where its original mounting point was. So there's now a gap underneath there. So what I need to do at the back here is the same sort of thing. I'm trying to juggle the light and film at the same time, which is proving to be a little bit difficult, right? So what we need to do is I need to plate up here like that, and then underneath here weld in some box section to meet up to that bottom of the cage there, and then the box section will weld to the plate, and then there'll be 2 captive nuts welded into the inside of the box section, which will then, the cage will then bolt to from there. So that is what's left to do. Obviously it's dark, I can't cut, can't weld, as I've said. I can't see, so I'm gonna attempt to put everything back in the garage, go home, and I will see you guys tomorrow evening, which will be in just a second for you, when hopefully the power's back on and we can get this finished, because otherwise, well, in theory I could drive it to the show like this. I mean, sit on a plastic chair, put the steering wheel back on, everything still runs. Questionable. Right, catch you guys in a bit. Right, power's back on, as you can see. Obviously it's the next day. Packed up, went home last night because the power went out. Show is in the morning at 8:30. It is now just gone 20 past 9 the evening before. Right, so the cage is all in. That's done. Well, I say the cage is all in. Quick recap, I can't remember exactly what I've just shown you, but B pillars are bolted in, A pillars need bolting in, and I need to do something with the rear tubs, but to be honest, with the amount of time I've got left and the amount of stuff I've got to do, I think I'm going to just drill the A pillars in, bolt the B pillars, well, B pillars are already bolted, drill and bolt the A pillars in and leave the rear tubs for now. Like I said, we're literally going half a mile up the road for this this gathering tomorrow, so you know, not any real risk of ending up on my roof at, well, I hope not, any real risk of ending up on my roof at 20 mile an hour for half a mile's worth of journey, but you never know, it could happen I suppose. But yeah, so I think next thing is to try and get the dash in is going to be what I'm going to try and do now, because I'll show you guys, obviously I've kind of wedged it in there. Don't know if you can sort of see through the windscreen or not, but so we've got the dash bar in. Now I've already had to cut the glove box out, which I did last night, which kind of that's fine. I kind of knew I was going to have to do that, so cut the glove box off the bottom of it so that it will fit around the dash bar. The other thing now is to notch the dashboard around the A pillars, where the A pillars come down. Obviously they're gonna sort of, because they come down there, they're gonna clash with this here. So I want to cut it in a way that I keep as much as possible and don't completely, you know, ruin it, destroy it or whatever. I have considered getting rid of this dash completely and actually building like a full aluminium dash that would use the dash bar on the roll cage sort of as the main support, but there is certainly not enough time to design and fabricate an aluminium dashboard in between now and tomorrow. So for now I'm just going to sort of cut this one up the best and neatest I can and go from there. So I'm going to crack open a cold beer, I'm going to quickly go and use a little boys room, and then we're going to crack on and see where we get to with this.
2 hours later.
Right, it's been a couple of hours. The dash is still over there. The dash is not in. The dash doesn't fit, unfortunately. So I've obviously started chopping it to try and make it fit. I've cut out where the vents used to be to go around the B pillars, notched out a bit around the bottom. Basically, it nearly fits. It's not far off, but the underside of the dash, like this bit here, just clashes with the dash bar. Basically, the dash bar is too high up to allow that to sit all the way down, and then because the dash doesn't sit all the way down, obviously sits like above the windscreen, which is not too much of a problem because it only sits up a little bit, but then it means obviously that all my dash and everything that was in there with the switch panel and everything doesn't fit. So basically what I've done is resorted to plan B. Plan B is turn the dash bar into the dash. It's also 11 o'clock at night. I'm kind of restricted on how much noise I'm making. I don't want to be doing too much cutting, welding and grinding, so I've become a bit of a cable tie engineer for this evening. Actually, what I'm about to show you, to be fair, I'm not proud of, but I'm actually quite proud of. it all works. And I mean, we've still got, like, it's 11 o'clock at night, I still need seats to go in there. I've still got all sorts to sort out to be able to drive the car. But I think we are going to get there. So let me show you what we've got. Climb inside the car. So basically, yeah, I've cable tied all the gauges to the dash bar, and they're all fairly well securely mounted. They're not any looser than they were previous. I've had to make up a couple of cable ties to hold this in place, but again, for the small amount of driving we're going to be doing tomorrow, it seems to be working fine. These switches fit in there quite nicely and they work, as you can see. Turn the key over, put the ignition on, gauges all come on, fuel pumps come on, charge cooler comes on, cooling fan comes on, launch control still works as well, not that we'll be using that tomorrow, and it cranks. So as it goes, I'm reasonably happy with that. I've had a sort of a tidy up over here to try and, you know, neaten up any of the wiring, all the loom that's exposed, to try and make it look as reasonable as it goes. And I think, to be honest, what I'm going to do is just, when I get inside tonight, is just print off a big piece of paper that says work in progress and stick it to the windscreen, so that people don't think that I actually drive the car like this on a regular basis. Although, to be fair, it could be quite fun. But yeah, still. Anyway, things I still want to get done. Obviously, I need to get the seats back in, get the harnesses back in. A pillar plates still need to be drilled out, although with the noise and everything, I don't know whether that's going to get done or not, but try and work something out for that. I want to try and tidy up some of this wiring over here as soon as it's going to be on display, just try and make it look somewhat presentable, and go from there. But we will get there, and then obviously we'll have to be fair, I mean, we've got to take it all apart again in a couple of weeks anyway, to, you know, strip the cage back and paint it and everything to make it look nice and shiny. So kind of only getting this done. I'm only getting this done for tomorrow, and then for the horse course meet again next Thursday, and then I think the next show after that will be September, Oh So Retro. So there's probably quite a bit of time then there to try and get stuff sorted. So yeah, we'll use it tomorrow and Thursday, and then look at taking it apart and doing everything properly. I don't know what I'm doing about the dash. Maybe you guys could give me some ideas. What are we doing about the dash? Because at the moment, the only thing I can think of, apart from cutting the dash bar out and welding it in lower down, which I don't think is really an option because there's not that much space there before it then hits the steering column. And I do want to run the dash bar, because the other option is obviously we get rid of the dash bar, but I do want to run the dash bar. So I don't know, at the moment I'm kind of thinking some fancy aluminium dash is going to be the way to go, and it actually might look quite good. You know, I could get rid of all the gauge pods and everything and have that all, you know, flush mounted inside the dash. It can be very minimalist and bare necessity sort of thing. And I mean, it'll probably be a little bit heavier than the standard one because the standard one's plastic, but there we go. Right, I'm gonna call it a night for filming. I'll catch you guys in just a second tomorrow morning when I get in the car and drive up to the show, because I'll take you guys up there with me. But as it stands, I'm just going to crack on tonight and get these bits ticks off the list, and I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning when I'm going to be looking like some sort of lunatic washing my car at 5 o'clock in the morning, because it is absolutely filthy at the moment. Right, see you in a minute. Well, good morning boys and girls. It's very early, it's very noisy, I'm sure the neighbours are loving this. I'm going to go get some petrol and then we'll catch up when we get there. Right, well, made it to the petrol station, alright? Right, 10's worth of petrol, can of Red Bull, and let's get to the meat. Right, already had a slight disaster. Just filled up with petrol and realised I never actually attached the fuel filler neck back to the fucking tank at the back, so quite a lot of fuel just got emptied into my boot, which I'm less than impressed about. A, because fuel's fucking expensive and it was a bit of a waste, but also because the car now smells of fuel and I'm basically hoping and praying it doesn't fucking blow up on me now. Right, thankfully we've only got a couple of minutes up the road, so let's go. Let's have ignition on, that's on, fuel, spark, cooler. Right, let's go boys and girls. Let's make sure our vehicle pass ready. Yeah, right, let's go and see what we got. Quite like waking up a nice sleepy village on a Sunday morning in the race car. The Lancia Monte Carlo behind me there. Boys and girls, I told you it was only a short journey. All on, make the turn. Morning.